This is Zeiss's brand new Otus 100mm f1.4 lens. Now, if you're familiar with the Otus lenses at all, you'll know that these are some of Zeiss's highest performing lenses. And we were fortunate enough to be in Germany at the Zeiss headquarters when they announced the new Otus 100mm. We managed to get our hands on two of these lenses, one on the front of the Nikon D850 that you can see here, and one on a Sony a7 III using an adapter. And that means that pretty much everything in this video was shot using the new Otus 100. Everything except for the shots of the lens itself here on the tripod. But to make it easier, I'll have a little shot on Otus 100mm at the bottom of the screen so you know exactly what's what. So the first thing to mention about the new Otus 100, just like the other Otus lenses, it's not small. It's actually pretty big and it's on the heavier side as well. But the idea with the Otus lenses is that nothing is held back. They're absolutely built with total quality in mind. And Andreas from Zeiss actually explained a little bit about this point for us.
It looks heavy, it looks bulky, it looks expensive, and of course it is, but in optical design, the more you put in, the more you get out. And that's the reason the lenses look like they do. And the point is, these lenses are the only one which have almost highest performance starting at 1.4, which sounds unbelievable. So most of the experienced photographers know, well, just stop down a little bit, your lens gets better, that's okay. But not with the Otus. Even at 1.4, you get almost the highest contrast out of that lens, which is absolutely amazing in all kind of low light situations, or even just to find maybe kind of your personal style or look in a way. So that really makes sense. And the Otus 100, in my opinion, is top of the best.
Now, we took this lens out for a couple of hours shooting photos and video to really test it out, and everything that Andreas was saying about getting optimum performance, even shooting wide open at f1.4, definitely seems to be true. You can get incredible sharpness, contrast, and colors while you're shooting wide open. You really don't need to stop it down to something like 2.8 or f4 like you might do with other lenses to get that extra bit of sharpness. It's right there at f1.4. And that is amazing for anything from shooting low light right through to shooting portraits like these and getting nice sharp focus on your subject. Now, speaking of focus, as an Otus lens, it is manual focus only, which at 100mm and f1.4 can be a little bit hard to get perfect, but honestly, within 10 minutes or so, we had pretty much got it sorted. We were quite happily shooting away. And there's actually something super satisfying about shooting manual focus anyway, and having the focus beacon turned on really helped as well. But let's focus on that f1.4 aperture for a moment, because obviously shooting with an aperture that big and with a focal length like 100mm, you're going to be getting a really shallow depth of field. And this lens really does not disappoint in this area. The bokeh here is astounding. It's so smooth. It blurs so nicely and you get that lovely Zeiss look. So you get the lovely contrast and the colors and that kind of Zeiss pop that you get, just pops the subject right out of the frame. The optical performance at f1.4 is incredible.
Yeah, the 1.4 aperture is one of the main features, because this is what we learned in producing high-performing cine lenses. So our approach was just to build the first lenses ever, the first photographic lenses ever, which are able just to perform on almost top level starting at 1.4, which is never the case with any other traditional lenses with that speed. So 1.450 in history is, what should I say, kind of weak. Maybe it shows an acceptable performance on the optical axis, but with an Otus you have brilliant performance at 1.4 throughout the whole field from edge to edge. And this is what a lot of people really see from the first click they do with their camera and with their new Otus.
Now, I also got the chance to shoot a little bit of video on this lens as well, and while I imagine most people will be interested in it for photography, it was actually lovely to shoot video with. The weight of it meant I wasn't getting that kind of micro judder that you can sometimes get with lighter lenses, and I was able to get some really lovely bokeh in the video as well. Now, hopefully we'll get our hands on this lens again in the near future for a full review, but in the meantime, if you have any questions about the lens, pop it down in the comments and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. If you like the video, hit the like button, that really helps us out. Make sure to subscribe for more content, and as always, thanks for watching.